Did you know that 80% of skills which give success in life were never taught in school or maybe even in college? Hi, I am Sharad Jain with 29 years of experience in corporate life, working in operations, training, HR, having worked as corporate training head, group chief human resource officer. I realized why people struggle silently and how these problems can be fixed. Well, there are top 5 skills, behavioral skills, which are essential for anyone to grow to thrive in life. And today in this video, I'll be talking about that. Even if you are in 20s, 30s, 40s, or whatever age, whatever experience, whatever sector, I'm sure these skills are useful for everyone. And if you know some of them, that's great. Practice more. If you have ever felt stuck, stressed, or lost, despite working hard, and if you can relate with these skills, then please let me know in your comments. Listen very carefully, learn and practice it a lot. So these 5 skills are: number 1, self-awareness; number 2, interpersonal skills; 3, assertive communication; 4th, stakeholders persuasion; and 5th, execution orientation. Talking about self-awareness, do you know that all top leaders, they are very highly self-aware? Talking about Steve Jobs, do you know that initially he had to leave his own company, Apple, when a new CEO was appointed by himself and board? There were frictions, and when board studied all these, they decided in favor of the new CEO, John Scully. So Steve Jobs was demoted, he left his company, he founded 2 new companies, next Pixar. Ultimately, he made them successful, he reflected on his styles, he became more self-aware, became a very good leader. These companies were acquired by Apple, and he again rose to lead Apple again to new successes. He said that all these years were very useful for him, for his self-development, for new insights about himself. So what is self-awareness? It's being aware of your own thoughts, emotions, behaviors, strengths, limiting patterns. All this is self-awareness. Now, how to develop it? Well, every person knows something about himself or herself. There are certain aspects which are not known to the person. Similarly, there are certain aspects of a person which others know, and there are certain aspects which others also don't know. So, the way to enhance your self-awareness is to take feedback from others, those who interact with you, to take personality tests, and being more observant about self, in short. So, I am sure you will try to improve your self-awareness after seeing this video. Talking about interpersonal skills, let me start with an example. Way back, we had booked our flats in the society where we live, and the project was a bit delayed. We all, as future owners, having invested, we were staying in rented apartments, we were also paying EMIs. So it was pinching us. We were talking to the concerned officials, things were not moving, and they were not allowing us to meet anyone higher up. I found out a way to set up a meeting with the chairman of the builders company along with couple of friends. We met him, he was very receptive, he listened to our problem and instructed his people to move it. Gradually we developed a lot of rapport with the officers also and with the builder chairman also, and all our society's teething troubles, lot of issues were very amicably resolved for all the initial months and years, and even now after 15 years we enjoy very good rapport with them, and all our issues get sorted very amicably in a very friendly manner. So we really got things moving which were otherwise not through these things. Now, what are interpersonal skills? Well, it is understanding other person's behaviors, emotions, his patterns, and deal with variety of people in different kind of situations effectively. Now, you may say that you are an introvert, how you can develop interpersonal skills, or you have your limitations. So just recall, you also have some close friends, you have family members, cousins. So just reflect, how did you develop good rapport with them, good connect with them, how you are dealing with them effectively. Understand those principles and try to apply these understanding, these principles all to the new people or the strangers whom you meet, with whom you want to develop your interpersonal skills. How to develop? Well, you can find similarities to have initial rapport. You can build deeper connect and trust through focusing on genuine appreciation, genuine help, finding mechanism to develop your emotional bank account. I will talk of it in some other video. Then being a good listener, being adaptive and changing your style with different people. Also understanding a person little more deeply, understanding the person's values, beliefs, motivations. All these things help. And be genuine. Anything pretended, facade, mask, people will be able to tell even in few seconds, maybe in minutes, or maybe after some interactions. So try to be genuine. There is a saying, different strokes for different folks, and that's the secret. Everyone is unique. Try to understand everyone uniquely, and then you will be good at it. Now, talking about assertive communication, it's balancing concern for others and courage for self. Let's understand with an example. For example, friends went out for some party. They are from different parts of India, they have different food preferences. And one friend says, I like kadai paneer the most. That's the best dish ever, kadai paneer. Let's everyone order the same. Now that's aggressive style. Just being bothered about self, not bothered about others' views. Another friend says, okay, I'll have whatever you like to order, I'm fine with that. Inside his mind, he just wanted to order something like dosa or noodles. But he's going with the flow, not putting up his voice. That's passive style. Another friend, she says, okay, you may be liking kadai paneer, you can order it for yourself. But today I like to enjoy noodles, please order the same for me. That's assertive style. Now, how to use assertive communication? So, being assertive means expressing your own point of view, being firm yet polite. So, to increase it, for a passive person or to reduce the aggression for an aggressive person, you have to question your beliefs, why you are behaving the way you are behaving. At times you are compromising, being passive just to be nice to other persons, and maybe you are choosing to remain aggressive because that way you have got what you have always without realizing any side effects or negative aspects of it on your relations. Another thing, you can moderate your body language to be assertive, not being aggressive, not being passive. Another aspect, You can consider practicing small wins, using some small hacks to behave differently than what you have behaved so far. You can think of crossing the border to reach the equilibrium. For example, you are a passive person. Try saying no when you want to say no now. You may have been an aggressive person. Trying saying yes when you wanted to say no. In some safe situations with friends, in some smaller moments, light moments, you can try to be different, experiment it. So once you cross the border, you learn how to stay with the equilibrium. Also, those who are passive really and they want to become assertive, they can consider taking some exposure to sun, doing core strengthening exercises, and this will activate their solar plexus or the Manipur chakra. This will help them gain more confidence, better assertiveness. And you can try meditation also in whatever way you like, focusing on your Agya chakra. Now let's talk about stakeholder persuasion. It's about getting the decision or the approval or the actions which you want for your project or proposal or task at hand. The criticality may vary, the stakes may be high or low. For anything to be done, stakeholders want confidence on whatever you are coming up with, that it will do good for the department, for the company, and it will not fire back. So how can you achieve this? To persuade stakeholders, prepare your data in advance, all your logics or supportings, any impact on emotions or morale of employees, etc. Prepare your pitch in advance if the stakes are high. Practice, practice, and practice. Often you may be faced with lot of questions. There may be efforts to find loopholes or silly mistakes. Iron out in advance. Prepare in advance. It will be good to take some wise person's advice before going to the key main stakeholders and remove any potential mistakes, and also understand stakeholders' style of decision making if you are new in that setup. Next, what is important is to understand the stakeholders' motivations and find common grounds. It will also be good if you can align concerned stakeholders or related persons whose opinion matter on a one-on-one basis in advance. To give an example, in one of my companies, there was a certain component of compensation which was an annual component. So CTC was good for the employees, however in-hand salary was low, and most of the junior employees were asking to convert the annual component into a monthly component so that the in-hand salary will increase. The senior leaders were also appreciating of the fact, and they were supportive of the fact. In fact, they had attempted before I joined that company. Somehow management did not agree to it. So when I came to know this, I first talked to the management to take their feel. I sense that they are okay for changes, however, they want solid groundwork to be done and it should go smooth without any repercussions for the company, since it was decades old practice. So I did all the groundwork. I in fact consulted the finance head also, legal retainer, legal advocate also on any possible labor laws implications. And once I did all my groundwork ready, aligned the key stakeholders, then I reached management, and then after one or two discussions, iterations, it went through, it was implemented, approved as a policy change, and people were happy. Now let's talk about execution orientation. This is a very important skill. because you may have right strategy, lot of plans, but ultimately what gets done on the ground, that matters. So execution orientation is all about achieving execution plans and target results with right speed. Speed is very important. It should not be too fast to invite errors. It should not be too slow to derail your plans and targets. So how to achieve this? It all starts with defining end goals which are required, the results which are required. Clarity gives right amount of efforts from everyone. Next, plan well, and if required, do micro planning. Depends on the scale and impact of the project or the activities involved. Recently, I attended a spiritual function. It was a large scale spiritual event involving hundreds of people, some inauguration. But I was amazed at the kind of excellence, the kind of micro detailing the organizing team had done. And people were amazed, and everyone was like amazing. The comment box of the WhatsApp group was filled with the level of excellence of the event. It was so well planned, with each and every detailing taken care of by the organizers. Organizing the resources quite well, anticipating any hurdles, any problems. Next, doing time management with due prioritization. There could be review cycles of hourly, daily, monthly, and weekly. Weekly reviews give a right kind of mix to keep the momentum on and not go into micro also. Again, it all depends on the context, scale, and impact and risk involved. At times, only monthly reviews are sufficient for long-term projects. At times, you may have to go hourly or minute to minute in emergency situation. Next, you may face some hurdles or problems which you are not foreseen. So solving them as we go along, that's very important, friends. I will also invite you to share your experiences or insights from any successful executions which you have done, on those which did not go as desired so well. So there can be learnings from that also. I invite you to share in comments. Next, avoiding derailers. So in some critical shiny projects, particularly in corporate setup, there could be tendency that if you talk too much about any project before it's completed, you may raise eyebrows, invite jealousy, and you may face some hurdles or political situations also. So it's better to keep a low profile and focus on completion. Once you have completed, then yes, you may tell more about your successes to the stakeholders or your colleagues. So that's a big thing in corporate setup particularly. Then aligning all the concerned stakeholders as you go along or before you kick start, to make sure that they all support the project rather than doing any negative questioning or feel aloof like that. One great example I would like to share, not from the corporate setup this time, but from a national setup this time. So we all watched recently what happened during the Indo-Pakistan conflict, the war, if you may say, of May 2025. So certain situation was there, certain communications happened, and then within few days, not too early, not too late, a very well planned escalation happened, starting with announcing the package of water treaty which was being honored for so many decades. Then moving on to borders, activating all the three forces, ward race, announcement of mock drill, and then the operations through missiles, through drones, through fighter jets, and lot many communications in background, and the defense mechanism to protect the turf for the country safe. So that was a very good example of execution orientation. I gave this because everyone will be able to correlate, and it gives lot of lessons for everyone. So just to recap, friends, some of the skills that matter a lot are self-awareness, interpersonal skills, assertive communication, stakeholder persuasion, and execution orientation. Please share in your comments what are the key examples which you like to share, or your views about these skills. What do you feel? If you like to learn more from such videos, please subscribe my channel. If you liked it, please like it. And if you find it useful, please do share with your near and dear ones. Keep watching for more. Thank you for your time.